One day, it all kind of came together for me, and I felt very burdened to try to start a school. I came down and shared it with my husband, and he said,
"You're out of your mind."
I just dropped it.
If you think we're going to pull this off, you're really nuts.
About 2 weeks later, he came back to me and said,
Wouldn't it be neat? Is it possible that a school could do this?
I was just elated.
It was really fun to dream.
We had a lot of conversations just around the kitchen of what it would look like.
There were just topic after topic that came up where we thought, we are in a battle for the hearts of our kids, and part of that battle has to be fought by me as a parent, but it's sure nice to know that some of my values are being reinforced in school.
We ended up finding some land at the last minute. We delayed the opening of school a little bit, but it opened.
TCA's history is so unique because we've been blessed by a number of crises. There was a crisis of parent concern that launched TCA in the very beginning, and undeniably that's turned out really well. The district had a crisis with an old elementary school building that turned into an opportunity for us to purchase what is now our central campus.
Sometimes crisis forces you to figure out, well, what are we going to do and how do we be innovative here?
Here again, we're faced with a crisis.
The past couple years for the East Elementary families have just been a nightmare.
As it turned out, at the Classical Academy East Campus, we had a mold problem.
No one could foresee the problems that we were going to have there. Started off with some mice. In order to control the mice, they sealed up the buildings, which led to mold.
So all of a sudden, wow, we've got kids over there that are being subjected to potential health issue.
We had a campus that was no longer a good place for students and teachers to be.
Well, that's a code red in our school, when the kids are being impacted and when there could be a safety issue.
We made the decision for the safety of our students to move almost 800 children to 5 different locations to make sure that every student had a safe and secure place to go to school.
We hoped that the East Campus would have lasted another year or two. I mean, no one could foresee the problems that we were going to have there.
We do not get facilities paid for. We have to find our facilities using the money for operations per pupil.
We had to decide, are we going to build or are we going to remediate?
One option was to rebuild a campus on our East Campus property at Scarborough.
We found that the cost of remediation was very expensive. It was going to be over $1 million to do it right.
How in the world do we fund another school that we know we need to build?
At the very time that we were looking for space and a way to build an outstanding facility for our elementary,
I met Dr. Tony Kinkle, who's the president of Pikes Peak Community College.
We started writing on a napkin. He and I both realized that Colorado, we're 50th in the country in funding of public higher education.
Because of the way the community college system is set up in Colorado, he was way down on the list to build buildings.
So how do you work around that? You have to find partnerships.
Pikes Peak Community College was looking for a way to add classroom capacity and use an unused resource.
I got a lot of land out here, 80 acres, and dirt doesn't make me any money.
Partnering like this that save taxpayers money and to serve more students with fewer facilities.
We could donate the land to them. They could sell that land and invest that in the building and build a bigger building.
This is a golden opportunity for TCA to really take education to a new level.
We're real excited. It's the first partnership between a public community college and a charter school on building a building.
Anytime there's an expansion, I'm concerned that we're going to lose sight of the things that have really been core values for TCA.
Are we selling our souls for the money?
To what degree do we stay true to our original vision, but where do we need to be creative in the way that we implement that?
Because of the size limitations at the Scarborough campus, we can't grow there the way that we can grow if we build at Pikes Peak.
We have an opportunity to really increase our capacity and it be in absolute alignment with our overall mission.
This is one of those rare situations where there's a chance for us to be able to grow, meet a different set of needs, but not feel like we're changing course.
The partnership that we're designing with Pikes Peak Community College is definitely leading edge.
10 years ago, did we ever have the conversation of how expensive education was at the college level? Well, we really weren't. That wasn't the thing that was at the forefront of our mind.
We have found a way for our students in high school to start earning college credit at a very steep discount.
So they essentially will get a college degree free.
Now, I personally have a child who's a rising senior. Do you think I'm thinking about the cost of higher education, the cost of college? You bet I am.
That's a savings of upwards of $20,000.
I don't think we're selling our soul at all. I think we're being innovative.
Here we are 11 years later, and we're developing a program to really expand the homeschool aspect of how we support parents in educating their kids.
If they play their cards right at the Classical Academy, many students will be getting their high school diploma and their associate's degree on the same day. Ultimately, to remain a great power, the United States of America has to create the jobs and the standard of living, and that's done through education.
Our performance gap shouldn't be measured in terms of how we're doing vis-a-vis this district. It should be measured against how are we doing vis-a-vis the world out there.
We're slipping. The state of Colorado is slipping. And so we have to turn this around one partnership at a time.
The strength of America as an idea and as a living community is always in its youth and in their education and preparation to lead.
The founders at TCA considered themselves pioneers. We're more than that now. We're trailblazers. We're blazing the way to a future in education that will allow very creative options.
We have to get rid of our old paradigms and our old prejudices and our old stereotypes and embrace these new solutions.
We need to find the next innovation because we need to lead education forward.
The future of the country is at stake.
We don't want there just to be an incremental gain. We want there to be a quantum leap.
What we're doing now, others will follow.
It will dramatically raise the bar.
It's a win for East Campus. It's a win for Pikes Peak Community College. It's a win for the TCA community generally.
And it's going to bring on this Rampart campus an Ivy League feel to this community college.
I've looked hard. I can't find any losers.
Our first priority was a permanent building for the East Campus. But this turned out to be a phenomenal opportunity. We'll have a win-win-win.
There's an opportunity here, an innovative idea of a way we can not only potentially majorly increase our capacity, but we're going to offer additional choices to pull off our mission. Now that's innovation.